Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music, the best kept secret in music reviews. Today, for you, we're going to review the third album from the English artist Bat for Lashes, entitled, Tom?
The Haunted Man.
So, in 2010, we reviewed the 2009 release by Bat for Lashes entitled Two Sons. We really liked that album. In fact, it was one of our favorites from 2009.
Yeah.
That was when VIMTV was just getting up and running.
Uh-huh.
You know, we were still getting our reviewing sea legs.
Yeah.
But we did like that album. And still, if I go back and listen to Two Sons, which actually I did that in preparing for this review, I still like that album. And then The Haunted Man, though, is a bit different because Bat for Lashes, you see Natasha Khan really stepping up her game and being more aggressive in as far as her scope is concerned. She, on this record, she's pushing her vocals to be bigger than what they were in Two Sons. Her lyrics are more passionate and fanatical. I'd say that the instrumentation plays a bigger role in that it's really relying on the vocals.
Yeah, she's really shooting the moon here.
Yeah.
She's really just going for it, and I think that's cool.
You know, and overall, the net effect of what we noticed in listening to this track by track by track is that you have a very dramatic sound. This is very artistic female indie rock, like chick rock music. I don't know.
Well, it's
not even rock anymore.
No, it's
really no rock.
No, really, it's very reliant on the samples, the electric kind of composition, electronic rather. But I would liken it to kind of a modern day Kate Bush type sound.
Imogen Heap.
Yeah, Imogen Heap, Glasser. Those are some more contemporary artists that I would compare a lot of elements of this to. Now on Two Sons, she was using a lot more strings, some other kind of more organic instruments, and that doesn't necessarily, I don't necessarily consider that a good or bad thing. It's all about how you use it. I think Two Sons, it was a huge success. Here she is just being very much more focused, but also just a little crazier.
Right. Yeah, and I think that the number one thing that I noticed about this album is that the entire thing, from the songwriting standpoint to the production standpoint, everything is focused on Natasha Khan's vocals.
Yeah.
It is all about the vocals, the instruments. In order to understand the songwriting, the underlying songwriting in the instrumentation, you have to listen to the vocals. So you listen to the vocals, the instrumentation plays off the vocals, and then you get this beautiful melody between the two. And it's really great when it works. The problem that I found, Tom, tell me if you agree with this, is that it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
There's times where Natasha Khan's vocals just I think her vocal parts are very good, but I think the thing that kills it is the lyrics.
Yeah.
I feel like at times the lyrics are just so over the top and so just bluntly ridiculous. I mean, it's just not, there's just times where I just start laughing because I can't take it serious. You have this really dramatic sound and these lyrics that are just over the top and really, it's just not authentic.
I like to break the vocals down into three big components. You've got the actual melody, actually what they're doing, the notes they're following, the performance of it, the way they're singing, which is the way they're singing it, and then lastly the lyrics, which is what they're singing. Right. So you can have the how and the two parts of the what. And here, I feel like the lyrics are very often not very good. Her performance is consistently pretty good though.
Right.
But that's, to me, I have to put this performance of it as kind of second nature to what she's actually doing. And when it comes to the actual melodies she's constructing, a lot of them I just don't attach to. I don't find them very engaging.
Especially
I don't find them memorable,
choruses.
Especially in the choruses. I'm so glad you said that because one song, Horses of the Sun, I see you actually picked it as one of your favorite tracks.
Yeah, I really like the sound that they're going for there.
Yeah.
It's just in the chorus. Her vocal melody is just not there.
I totally agree because I had a very interesting experience with that song because it started and when the verse kicks in, some of the, it starts with some of the instrumentals and then a lot of them drop out and it's her voice and it's so like foreboding and it sounds big and it sounds like kind of dark and it reminded me a lot of Two Sons.
Yeah.
I love the melody, the lyrics were good, I love the way she was singing it. But then it gets to the chorus and you have this kind of key or at least mode change and the lyrics aren't as good, it's not as believable, the melody is not powerful at all, and yet you have this huge instrumental climax and the vocals just don't match it.
Yeah.
And that just killed it for me, and it happens on a lot of songs.
Yeah, and it's usually in the choruses. I find that the verses and the other, intro, outro parts are typically fine, and you get that's when you have that good blend between the instrumentation and the vocals. But the problem is that even if you like, it took me a while to listen to this. Like, I listened to this album probably 6 6 times before I really felt like I had cracked it, and what I realized is that, that combination between the instrumentals and the vocals is key to understanding this album. But the problem is that when you are so focused on the lyrics, it's hard to focus on anything else. And if you can't take the lyrics seriously, you're going to be focusing on the lyrics the entire time, which I believe that both of us have been.
There are a lot of cringeworthy lyrics to me on here. A lot.
And when you do that, you can't focus, you can't give the attention that you need to give to the vocals, which this entire sound is built around. Therefore, all the instrumentation, anything good she's doing there, kind of drops out of your vision. So I mean, I feel like that the whole album just gets completely out of balance.
Yeah.
In that, it's just she went for it. I think she, really was ambitious on this album, and I just feel like certain aspects of it cause the whole thing to just be completely out of whack. And it's just, all in all, it's not that strong of an album.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it difficult to listen to all the way through. There's several tracks on here that I want to skip when I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
The track "Oh Yeah," I never want to hear again, ever.
Oh yeah?
Ever. I hate you.
So no, I have a very similar experience. I find that one of the most frustrating things about this album for me is that it's inconsistent, but it's not even inconsistent track by track. It's inconsistent within tracks, kind of like I was mentioning.
Yeah.
I mean, there are very few tracks on here, if any, come to think of it, that I can get behind the entire thing. Sometimes I'll like the verses, sometimes I'll like a chorus here or there, but when I tend to like one part of the song, I don't like all the other parts of the songs.
Sure.
So it makes every song a little bit of a struggle for me throughout it. And that just brings me down a little bit. I know I like this one a little less than you.
Yeah, and I just think it's because you were just more focused on the lyrics.
I was
able to put that on the shelf for
Yeah.
a while and just listen to the vocals. I mean, and just tune out the lyrics. And if you do that, it works. Like we were saying, it works most of the time. There's only a few spots on the album, usually in the choruses, where the vocal melodies just don't meet whatever she was going for.
But if you're like me and you can't get past that stuff because it's just glaring in your face and you can't think past it, then you'll probably like it a little less.
I will say this: if any of our viewers were to like the lyrics, I bet this album is good.
Yeah.
I bet this album is probably like an upper 70s, 80s album to you if you don't think that the lyrics are bad. It's just that we felt that, and I feel like lyrics are there's a lot of interpretation when it comes to lyrics. I feel like we can make really strong points about songwriting, about song structures that it's hard to argue with. I really feel like we can always argue quality of lyrics.
Definitely.
There are some rough patches with lyrics. I wouldn't say that they're like the most brilliant. I think we can make that argument that they're not the most brilliant lyrics we've ever heard, but to say that they're just bad and everyone's going to hate them, I don't believe we can actually do that.
Yeah.
If you listen to this and like the lyrics and therefore like the album more than we do, great. You guys don't have to agree with us. We're just here, two guys giving you our opinions. Tom, where are you sitting with this one?
I'm going 59.
I'm a little higher, going 64.
Right.
So we're looking at the very low 60s. That to us is a mark of an album that it just needs work. Let's just face it, it just needs work. Probably won't come back to this one, and it's just a general pass from Velocities in Music. However, if you're into this sort of sound, if you like Bat for Lashes, this is still one you should check out. You might like it, but I'd be interested to know if you guys like it better than Two Sons. So leave us a comment at www.velocitiesinmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesinmusic. As always, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, because that's where we do our talking with you, and you make VIMTV what it is. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.
And as